It is really fun to try to do this. Do you hear that? In the garage, where you hear every car going by, every leaf blower. I'm only a little bit annoyed. Hello language learners. So today I want to walk through an app that provides access to audiobooks in a variety of different languages so that language learners like me and you can use audiobooks in order to improve their language learning. That app is called Beelinguapp. I think that's how you pronounce it. So in this review, I'm going to talk about 5 things. We're going to talk about walking through the app. We're going to talk about how much it costs and what you get for free. We're going to talk about what kind of language learner it's for. We're going to talk about my opinion. And then I'm going to talk about alternatives. First thing on that list is a walkthrough through Beelinguapp. So the first thing you're going to see is a few categories. You're going to see culture, in progress, books that I've started but haven't finished, recommended kind of thing, basics, children's stories. So you get a few categories. So up here, in this top bar up here, you have a few ways to narrow down the books that are appearing in this feed. So you have language. You can select up to 2 languages that are appearing. Side note, this does not change the language that these books appear to you in. If you choose Spanish and Portuguese, you're only going to see books that are available in Spanish and Portuguese. It does not automatically set the books you are reading into Portuguese. You have to do that in another section. We're going to set it to Spanish. You can do beginner, intermediate, or advanced, of course. And then you can do categories. These are the different categories of stories that you can select. We're going to look at one of the ones that I'm in progress on. Okay, life in school. Why not? Life in school, La vida en la escuela, sets aside for 25% of it. That's a description, an entertaining description of life in school in Latin America and the world. It also shows you who it's written by. So if you go into this link, it'll open up this Colombian YouTuber, which means that these audiobooks are not necessarily professionally created. You're going to see that a lot. Some of this audio is not the best. You get what you get. You'll see that it's beginner level with 4 paragraphs. So let's read it. Now you can see in this view, so we have Spanish up top and we have English below. This is great if you're not quite up to this level of Spanish. If you are and you want a little bit of a challenge, you can go up here, see the split, click split, and look, no more split. I'm gonna put that split back. Now let's look at what it's like to read and listen to this book.
Si en cambio fuiste el ejemplo a seguir de tu clase, ves cómo tu mamá te trae tu nuevo iPhone. No, todos sabemos que eso nunca pasa.
You can see there how this works. You get the general idea. You can also hear how the audio is not the highest quality. You're not going to get professional studio grade audio with this app. The speed is 1/1, which is full speed. You can slow it down to 3/4 speed or half speed. Other options, you can increase the text size. If you have a hard time seeing it, you can put it to night mode, which is fun. Another really great thing that Beelinguapp does is you can select words. Let's say we want to select frecuentemente. We go into select text mode, select this word. You can add it to glossary here. Frecuentemente has been added to the glossary. You're going to see that in a second. You can also translate it, frecuentemente, in case you don't know what that means, frequently. Can also listen to it.
Frecuentemente.
Not the best audio. Go ahead and add a few more words to the glossary. We're going to click this book up here. Look at that. So we have our glossary of the words from this story. A good idea from here is to take these words and put it into whatever you use for flashcards, whether they're physical flashcards, whether it's an Anki deck, whether it's on Memrise. It's a good idea to take these and put them somewhere else. I know that it has this flashcard icon up here, but look what happens. Now we have dirige, right? Which wasn't there. Permitido wasn't there. Ambigüedades was not there. So what this does is it puts these glossary terms into like a giant thing of flashcards that it just kind of like sucks out of stories that you've already read, which is not helpful. If it works for you, if it happens to be picking out the words from the stories that you actually don't know, that's great. However, it automatically does that. So if you already know these words, it's just not helpful. You can translate them right here. Bastante, quite. Now remember, this isn't available on the free version. This is a paid option, but we'll get to that later. We've seen the glossary, we've seen the flashcards. It don't really work, honestly. Now we see this little image thing. Let's click that. So that is the image that comes with this audiobook. That's super cute, right? It's another paid thing. May or may not be worth it to you. Let's see if this one has questions. A lot of them have questions at the end. So here's one, Sarah and her roommates, Sara y sus compañeros de cuarto. Okay, you see right here, 0 out of 5 question. Let's get to the end of it. Mark has read. Some of these books, some of these stories have questions. These are comprehension questions, which is pretty nice. See if you actually understood what the hell you were reading. So, ¿Dónde trabaja Mary? And you can switch between Spanish and English here. And answer these questions. I think I want 5 correct answers. Would you want to read it again? See if maybe you can find the answers. These are all stories that I have already downloaded in the past. So let's see what happens when you download a new one. Dinosaurs. Okay, so see, it's downloading. Maybe you don't want to read it right now. Leaving already? Do you want to add to favorites? You can add to favorites. So what happens when you add to favorites? What does that mean? Well, you go back here to the tab My Stories. I added that story to my favorites. Oh, see? Look, there it is, dinosaurs. So these are all stories I've added to my favorites. You go to the next tab, Download. You see all the stories that you've downloaded. And then glossary. Again, this is what I was saying with the flashcards. It kind of picks and chooses the words that it thinks that you might get from these books. We've gone through the stories, all right, and we understand how stories work. Let's see what else that Beelinguapp has to offer. This tab, Be Kids, is super nice. Let's open Talia's Bedtime. It's like a picture book. It's specifically meant for smaller kids or for adults. Honestly, I love to read children's books as a way to get some more vocabulary. It's a great way to train your brain from the beginner up. You have this full page picture. If you want to just see the picture, hold down, you see the picture. Hold down again to see the text. Go to the next page, is a whole different picture. Go to the next one, different picture. Really fun, really nice, right? That's the Be Kids section, which is pretty nice. And then have music. For us native English speakers, the music section is not great. I mean, you can see it's almost all in English. You would be better off going to Spotify and looking up the language itself that you're, trying to learn, because this is mostly for English learners. So we're just gonna move on from that. Then we have news articles, which is also interesting. It's updated probably every couple of days. See, the latest one was yesterday, little Richard died. So we're gonna open that.
El pequeño Richard, muerto a los 87 años.
So it looks like they translated and they just stuck an automatic audio onto it, which is helpful, I suppose. It's better than nothing. Finally, we have settings. So we're gonna get to prices in a second. They leave contact info right in the app, which is really nice. If you have some feedback, you want to make any of these complaints that I've been making, if you agree with them, if you want to say something else, right in the app. I do like that. Lastly, we go to settings. Now this is where you change the language that you're learning. I want to learn any of these languages. They have a pretty healthy collection of foreign languages for you to learn, and this is the language that you're learning from. This is the second part of that split screen where it translates for you. That is a walkthrough through the Beelinguapp app. Now, how about prices? What does Beelinguapp cost? Well, you can get Beelinguapp for free. They do have free options. You're not going to get all of the stories, you're not going to get all the glossary options. You'll just have ads. Here's a paid options. Most of them are less than $5 a month, which is really cheap. The highest tier is like $5.50 a month, which is still super reasonably priced. In my personal opinion, if you do want to use Beelinguapp, you need to at least pay for access to all of the stories. Who is Beelinguapp for? Now, Beelinguapp is a good option for language learners who do really well with audiobooks in another language, because it has that function where it translates for you. You can listen to it, and you can see the translations from L2, L1. The translations are really good. Most languages don't translate exactly, so the highlighted part might be a little bit off, but it is really great about translating and having you follow. If you want something really reasonably priced or free, Beelinguapp is great. I do like how it also translates news articles, and it is updating fairly quickly. If you do decide that you really like Beelinguapp, my roadmap for language learners is a great way for you to put down Beelinguapp as part of your strategy and develop the rest of your strategy all around it. It takes you right through everything that you need to know for developing your own authentic language learning strategy that'll work for you. Link is below in the description box if you are interested in that. My opinion of Beelinguapp. Okay, so I have tried so many different language learning resources. It's one of my favorite things to do. It's not my favorite. I will probably never use it for my own language learning strategy. The audio is really low quality. The music does not help me at all because I'm a native English speaker. There are alternatives out there that I like better. Link is another audiobook platform where you can find translations and reading practice and listening practice for books, articles, podcasts, all sorts of stuff. It's all translated, and the audio is pretty decent. Same kind of idea. The big difference is there's more available because anybody can upload new content. You can upload any books you find, any articles, any sort of thing. You can upload directly to the platform, and it does it for you. So there's a ton of content on Link. The only caveat is that Beelinguapp supports Hindi. That is the only language that is available on Beelinguapp that is not available on Link, is Hindi. I love Link. I use it for my own language learning studies. It is also reasonably priced. Again, link below in the description box for a review of Link to see what that is all about. Another alternative is Readlang. So Readlang has all of the languages available on Beelinguapp plus more. Readlang is a Chrome extension. It's not as pretty as Link or Beelinguapp. It's not pretty at all, but it is useful. You upload content to Readlang, and it doesn't translate automatically, but if you click words, click phrases, it translates them for you. You can put them into a flashcard set. Readlang is also free or reasonably priced, but I also have a link to Readlang below in my description box. Readlang doesn't come with all the options. It's a much more simplistic resource, but it is a helpful resource. Another one that's very similar is Lingvist. With Lingvist, you can take a picture of a book you're reading, and it will import all of the words for you and spit it out into a vocab list directly from that book. It's pretty awesome. Again, link below in the description. For my review of Lingvist, I have a video on there as well where it takes you through that process of taking a picture of content from a book and just spitting out a vocab list. If you have a different opinion, or if you have another alternative that I didn't mention in this video, please leave me a comment below, tell me about it. I'd love to look up these different alternatives. I'd love to hear your opinion. Otherwise, I will see you every Monday at my blog at crushculture.com and every Wednesday right here on YouTube. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you next week.